Trey Johnson was a 14-year-old boy with a kind heart and a smile that could light up a room. He lived with his mother, Sarah, in a modest apartment in a small neighborhood on the edge of Atlanta. Life wasn't easy for Trey and his mom. Sarah worked 2 jobs, cleaning houses in the mornings and waitressing at a diner in the evenings, just to make ends meet. Despite their struggles, she had taught Trey one important lesson. No matter how little you have, you always have enough to be kind. Every Saturday, Trey walked to the corner store to help Miss Rita, the elderly store owner, stack shelves in exchange for a few extra dollars. Trey loved doing it, not just for the money, but because he liked helping people. He always believed that small acts of kindness made the world a better place. One sunny afternoon, Trey was walking home from the store, humming a tune and swinging a bag of bread and eggs his mom had asked him to buy. As he rounded the corner to his street, he saw an old man struggling to lift 2 heavy grocery bags into the trunk of a car. The man's back was hunched, his hair was a snowy white, and his hands shook as he tried to balance the bags. Without hesitation, Trey ran up and said, "Sir, do you need some help?" The old man looked up, his face lined with wrinkles but his eyes warm and kind. "I wouldn't mind a hand, son. These old bones aren't what they used to be." Trey smiled and took the bags, placing them carefully in the trunk. He noticed the man had only bought a few things: milk, bread, a jar of peanut butter, and some canned soup. "You shopping for yourself?" Trey asked casually. The man nodded. "Just me. I don't eat much these days." "Why don't you have someone help you?" Trey asked as he closed the trunk. The man chuckled softly. I'm just an old fool who likes to do things on his own. My name's Mr. Henry, by the way." "I'm Trey," the boy replied, holding out his hand. Mr. Henry shook it firmly. "Thank you, Trey," the man said. "You've got a good heart." Trey shrugged. "My mom says kindness doesn't cost a thing." Mr. Henry smiled. "Your mom's a wise woman." Trey was about to walk away when Mr. Henry called out, "Wait a moment, Trey. Do you live nearby?" "Yes, sir," Trey said, pointing down the street. "Just a few blocks away." Mr. Henry hesitated for a moment before asking, "Would you like to come by my place sometime? I could use a little help with a few chores, and I'd pay you for your time." Trey thought about it. His mom always said he should be careful around strangers, but something about Mr. Henry felt safe. He nodded. "Sure. When do you need me?" "How about tomorrow afternoon?" Mr. Henry suggested. Trey agreed, and they exchanged directions. The next day, Trey arrived at the address Mr. Henry had given him. He expected a small house like the ones in his neighborhood, but when he turned the corner, his mouth dropped open. Standing before him was a sprawling mansion with tall iron gates, a long driveway, and a fountain in the front yard. Trey double-checked the address, thinking he must have made a mistake, but it was correct. As he approached the gate, it opened automatically. Trey walked up the driveway, his sneakers crunching on the gravel. When he reached the front door, it swung open, and there stood Mr. Henry, wearing a simple sweater and jeans, looking nothing like the kind of man who lived in a house like this. "Come on in, Trey," Mr. Henry said warmly. The inside of the house was just as grand as the outside, with high ceilings, marble floors, and walls lined with paintings and bookshelves. Trey couldn't hide his amazement. "Wow, Mr. Henry, you live here?" Mr. Henry chuckled. "I suppose I do, but don't let it intimidate you. It's just a house." Trey helped Mr. Henry with small chores around the house, carrying boxes, dusting shelves, and organizing books. As they worked, Mr. Henry told Trey stories about his life. He had grown up poor, just like Trey, but had worked hard and built a business from the ground up. Over time, that business had made him a very wealthy man. "Money doesn't make you happy, though," Mr. Henry said as they took a break in the garden. "What makes life worth living is the people you share it with." Trey nodded thoughtfully. "My mom says the same thing. She says we may not have a lot, but we have each other, and that's what matters." Mr. Henry smiled. "Your mom sounds like a remarkable woman." Over the next few weeks, Trey visited Mr. Henry regularly. They developed a close bond, and Mr. Henry became a mentor to Trey, teaching him about life, business, and the importance of giving back. One day, as
Trey was about to leave, Mr. Henry handed him an envelope. "This is for you and your mom," he said. Trey opened the envelope and gasped. Inside was a check for $50,000. "I can't take this," Trey said, his voice trembling. "Yes, you can," Mr. Henry insisted. "You've given me something far more valuable than money. You've given me company, kindness, and a reason to smile again. This is my way of saying thank you." Trey took the check home to his mom, who cried tears of joy and disbelief. The money changed their lives, but Trey never forgot the lesson Mr. Henry had taught him. Kindness is the greatest wealth of all. And that's the story, guys. I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I did in creating it. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you never miss a new adventure. And if you really loved it, share this story with your friends and family. Let's spread the word together. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep exploring. Hope to see you soon. Bye.